To add our columns in our model, we can do this a couple different ways. We can add our columns by going to our model pull down. Under member, we have an add flyout where I can select my column. I can also add other member types here, as well as a prompt for member type, which allows me to bring a window up that I can use my column selection or select any of my other members here. I can also use my member add tray, which allows me to pick a specific member type from an icon. If I select column, it'll ask me to locate my column. Because we're in a plan view, we're going to assume that the column is vertical. So we'll only need to pick one point to locate this column. I'm going to use my intersection of construction lines. And if I come over here and hover at A and 3, you will see in my XYZ display at the top of my screen that the location I am snapping to is 0, 0 in my X and Y, because that's where we set up our origin point at. And at 99 foot 2 is the Z elevation. So this is the bottom of our column right now. We'll be at 99 foot 2, which is where we want our bottom of base plates to be for all of our columns. So we'll start at A and 3 and just left click, and we'll see our member edit window pop up. On the left hand side of any of our member edit windows is what we refer to as our member tree. Each of these members will have separate sections or leaves within a tree. At any time, if you highlight one of these sections, it will jump to that area on the right hand side here. And if I deselect it, it will collapse it. So if I deselect information, it'll collapse the information leaf. You can also click on the blue label here and it will expand it and select it on the left hand side. You can deselect entire ends if you want to, or just a single end is displayed at a time. We're going to go ahead and fill out our section size here. So to do this, we can use our keyboard to type a W, 10, and we can use the X, 49. This is our W10 by 49. If I tab out of that field, you'll see that it validates it to an actual size. I can also use my browse icon here to search for a specific size in the list. I can also find it by typing in here, and it'll jump to the sections as I type it. You can also, in your 10 keypad, use the multiplication sign for the X. So I can use W, 10, and use the multiply key to use the X there. And I can type in a partial section size, and when I use my find or my browse, you can see that it starts at my W10s. So I can pick my W10 by 49 and fill that out. We are going to be referencing sheet S1 for our columns rotation in our model. If we look at the column at location A and 3, we have it rotated to where the web is running vertically. In SDS2, we have a column rotation buttons for 0 and 90. 0, where the web runs horizontally in the plan view, and 90 is where the web runs vertically. So in this case, we want a 90-degree column rotation. You can manually fill out any angle between -90 and +90. Our bottom end settings, which is the left side here, our left end of our column, the end elevation is filled out for us automatically because of the point we picked. And the input connection type is auto standard. For our base plate, we want to pick one of our plates from our schedule, so I will use my user base cap plate option here for the connection type. This allows you to select the plate schedule number. If you remember which line it's on, you can type that in, or use the browse to have a list of them here where I can select BP1, line 1, and say OK. You can also rotate the base plate on the column. You can also offset the base plate from center on that column parallel to the web and flange. For our top end, we want to make sure this goes up to our roof elevation. If we look at sheet S2, our roof is 126 unless noted, so we'll just go to 126-0 for now, and if we need to adjust it later, we will. I'll go ahead and say OK, and now it's placed that column in the model for me. I also have a column identical to this at A and 2, so I can left click, and it remembers the exact information that I filled out last time. So I can say OK, and it'll put a copy of the same member in there. If I know this is going to be an exact duplicate of the member that I just added, I can use my middle click here, which is repeat. So I can middle click at A and 1, and it doesn't prompt me for a window, it just puts it in there.